Wow. Let me just go ahead and break that down. Go ahead, talk about Deion Sanders.
You got to turn the drops up first.
Let me single
I can't talk about Deion, you know.
You're all on screen now. Go ahead. It's all you, dude. Go ahead.
Unbelievers.
Yeah.
I mean,
the unbelievers.
Do you believe?
Yeah, let's go, dude. Do you believe? And Deion, bro. Let's go, man. Deion didn't disappoint in week 1 like Lincoln did, right? Deion didn't disappoint like a bunch of other coaches did. Deion actually goes out and win games with all his 150 new folks in the transfer portal. You know.
Wait. Okay.
You know.
Why bring up Lincoln Riley, number 1? But number 2, your guy did the job.
He did the job, bro.
Deion came out and shocked good old Tarrant County.
It was kind of wild, actually.
Shocked the boys at TCU with an incredible win, an incredible performance. And I think he deserves credit for this because nobody else could have done this. I firmly believe, and I know it's crazy, and I know everybody has spent all weekend since the ball game ended, espousing the greatness of Three Toes. And, I get it. He deserves a hell of a lot of credit for this. And I'm sure by now that you have seen it. I am sure by now that you guys have heard the speech, but I don't know. I don't know how when you listen to Deion before the game and you listen to him push these kids as far as they can be pushed, and then they start pushing him back and finishing his sentences. And I saw people talking about how, it's canned and they scripted it. I don't care. I bought into it hook, line, and sinker. I buy into Deion Sanders. I believe that today, because I don't think this continues, I'll still be a skeptic about their ability, even at Folsom Field this weekend in Boulder, to beat Matt Rule, who I thought actually looked a lot better than they thought he would, losing to Minnesota. I'm a skeptic. But that's not what today's about. Today's about, in my opinion, celebrating Deion Sanders and giving him the respect that I think not only has he earned, that he took from the college football world. Because Deion Sanders did the damn job, and it's so rare in this day and age that guys come out in the headlines, in front of the cameras, on YouTube, with their vlogs, and they're talking and espousing, and then they back it up. And I don't care what anybody says, no matter what level of football we're talking about. You hear Deion Sanders talk to his team before the game, and I don't know how you don't want to buckle your chin strap.
We ain't got tomorrow. We got now. We ain't got next. We got now. We ain't coming no more.
Dude, I want to go play football.
Do you believe?
We ain't got tomorrow. Like, that is phenomenal.
Incredible.
I think Deion Sanders has absolutely captured the imagination of the college football world. I think not only the college football world, he transcends sports, football, baseball. He is sports right now. He is leading the news cycle. And I give you and all of his other supporters credit, Jake, because he did the damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's showing what it takes to motivate kids. I mean, I in a time when Nick Saban and Kirby and all the heavy hitters want to complain about the transfer portal and want to complain about NIL, like, Deion's coming out here and he's saying, like, hey, I'm Deion Sanders, and you need to believe in me because I can show you the way. And nobody believed that he could show these kids the way because it was Jackson State, because he hadn't done it, at a P5 level. And so he's come out and he's won that first game. But I think what continues to be the measuring stick is winning moving forward, because I think you're exactly right. As much as I was about this performance, I mean, to go on the road, to beat TCU by a team, by everybody's account, that sure was going to take a bit of a step back because you lost Duggan and you lost some talent. Okay, sure, I think we all expected that. But to go on the road and beat the team that was, in the college football playoff, in that championship game, like a team of that caliber, I just don't think anyone saw this coming, and that's why I think there's so much sticker shock on it, and that's why I think Deion is so brazen about it, because he's like, hey, I've been telling you, hey, like, these kids do believe, like, these kids are going to play their ass off. Shedeur is for real, right? Like, Travis Hunter is for real. Like, these guys can play, and I just think go out and beat Nebraska now, right? If you're Deion Sanders, that's all you care about, because if you beat Nebraska and you're 2-0, Now we're talking about you. I can't remember who they have in week 3, but I think week 4 is Oregon. Now you're talking about trying to get to Oregon 3-0. I mean, that's what Deion is trying to do here. So the question is, when do you lose that first game, and how does your team bounce back from that? Because this is great. You won that first game, and trust me, I'm a Deion guy, been a Deion guy. Like, I love this dude. But the question's going to be, when the new car smell wears off, because inevitably it will.
It will.
How does this team bounce back? And you have to believe, based on this, that they would bounce back well. But I think that's where the story goes next, because I think what he did over the weekend is just sensational. I mean, this is the story as college football fans we needed. I mean, I didn't need more talk about, the suspension of Mr. Khakis at Michigan, right? I didn't need to talk more about the super speeder ticket again over the weekend at Georgia. I didn't need to talk about more Nick Saban complaining, right? Like, we didn't. Those are the same old things. Like, the more things change, the more they stay the same, it seems, in college football.
I think it is really good for college football. I think this weekend was really good. Now, if you're Sonny Dykes at TCU, this is not the end of the world. I think a lot of people want to tell you that TCU's dead and they want to dance on the frog's grave. And I'm just telling you, we saw some kind of special performance out of Shedeur Sanders. And with all due respect to Travis Hunter, I think Shedeur Sanders is the straw that stirs the offense in Boulder. I think he is a Heisman Trophy candidate. I think Shedeur Sanders deserves all of the credit, because when you're Prime's kid, you better damn well throw for 510 yards, and didn't he? And I think that TCU and Sonny Dykes will be just fine. I don't think there's a lack of talent. It was week 1. It was a lack of execution. They had moments they didn't capitalize, all of that. This is on the Tuesday after a holiday Monday, so really it's Monday talking football. Today should be about Colorado. And I have no problem saying it.
Well, and I think to your point, like, you've got Dan Orlovsky doing tape on this guy. I mean, you've got, like you talk about, you started by saying, hey, Colorado's leading the news cycle. Like, it isn't just Deion. It's Shedeur. It's Travis Hunter. It's that defense. It's the whole deal. And I just think that it's, again, I left this weekend feeling like, man, like, we got something to talk about finally in college football. I don't have to talk about, Brett McMurphy's ridiculous top 25. That's not all I have to talk about.
We'll get to that.
Right? Like,
we'll get to that.
But it seems like every week, right? It's like, okay, like, as a college football fan, hear me out. Every single Monday after the weekend, you come into Monday, you're like, all right, we're going to talk about the top 25, Brett McMurphy's top 25. What is Nick Saban complaining about? And who's the latest speeding suspect at Georgia? That's what we're talking about. And this was a nice relief from that.
But I also think one of the biggest stories in college football is the Pac-12 going undefeated.
Yeah.
And I can only say it until I'm blue in the face, and I know you're tired of hearing me talk about it. It's the best football conference in the country.
Do you believe?
Right now. And if you don't believe, you should. And Prime's a big part of it. But you look at the scoreboard in the Pac-12, and it's not Oregon scoring 81. It's not USC. It's not even Utah dominating Florida. It's Washington State scoring 50 points. It's everybody in the Pac-12 absolutely rolling, and I think they're the best conference in the country. I look at the way Florida State played. Well, Florida State's offset by an absolutely disgusting performance from Himmy and Dabo. And we built this program on Jesus Christ,
in God's name,
right?
Image, and likeness.
Dude.
That was a disgusting performance from Clemson, a stellar performance out of Duke, who I would like to take victory lap and tell you, I told you the Dukies were dangerous.
Yeah, Duke is Duke.
I'm
and
brilliant
stuff.
and good looking.
We really did.
I think the Pac-12 is the best conference in the country.
Yeah, and I think the SEC didn't exactly have, as you were just saying, a great showing this weekend. I mean, there was nothing in SEC country where you're like, man, wow, dude, hell of a game there, Nick, right? Like, hell of a game,
they weren't
Kirby.
big
Like,
games.
I know they weren't big games, but, like, dude, like, I don't know. I think people, when they hear you say the Pac-12 is the best football conference right now, there's a lot of people might react negatively to that. And my point on it is, hey, how do you react any other way than, hey, they went undefeated on the weekend amid all the turmoil of the conference burning to the ground. Not that the kids probably care about that, but amid their conference burning to the ground, amid the bad look financially and TV wise, like there's a lot of reasons for players on these teams right now to be negative about the situation, and they're just not doing it.
All I'm saying is, here we stand heading into week 2. I think I can make a compelling argument that the Pac-12 is the best conference in the country. But you point to the SEC. I think one of the great storylines in the SEC is Ole Miss, Lane Train. How about my guy, Jackson Dart?
Stay hard.
Jackson Dart's legit.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to talk about him. Nobody saw their games. Coach Prime's not on a sideline. Meanwhile, Jackson Dart and the Rebs went out and threw for 350 almost yards and 4 touchdowns and absolutely dominated. But the problem is they dominated against Mercer. And the problem is that Texas A&M played New Mexico, and South Carolina got thumped by North Carolina, and Tennessee beat Virginia, and Alabama beat Middle Tennessee, and Georgia played UT Martin. And somehow, to your point, one of their coaches got caught 85 in a 40 in a, mind you, 84 Buick Regal. God bless you, sir. But the SEC just was under, there was nothing compelling about it.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I think the Pac-12 is incredibly compelling. I think the Pac-12 from the top to the bottom. And I think that Washington State game, the fact that Stanford won a football game,
incredible.
The fact that Cal won a football game,
yes.
That Washington State won a football game, that Arizona won a football game, that Dillingham won a football game
I'm for real.
at ASU, and Jaden Rashada now. And I don't care about Pine. Like, are you really going to sell me on Drew Pine over Jaden Rashada at ASU? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
ASU won a football game. And this conference was undefeated this week on the road to the end of their existence.
Yes.
Yet they're undefeated. And I think it's a great story in college football. Yet, what's the biggest story? Well, it lives in the Pac-12 with Coach Prime.
Yep.
And I think he has absolutely earned it. I think the fact that Southern boy, Brian Kelly absolutely went down in flames.
That was embarrassing, dude. I mean,
Well,
dude.
But was it? And this is another legitimate conversation. Is Florida State the best team in the country? And people are, I get it. You're going to say, well, you're overreacting. Am I, though? I watched every snap of that football game. Florida State's the best team I saw this weekend. Florida State, by far, in the game of games, absolutely thumped LSU in the second half.
Because that's the problem, right? Roll Tide didn't play anybody. This is precisely what we've been talking about. Hey, the early season schedule for the big boys is a cakewalk. So is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Because for Florida State fan, that's a really good thing. For Alabama fan, that's not necessarily a great thing. But Alabama fan's going to sit there and say, well, it's just another year, right? Like, season doesn't really get going until, right? Georgia fan's going to say, well, we're going to be in the college football playoff, so with all due respect to Florida State, we'll see you there, right? Like, that's the thing. And I think, yeah, Florida State did play the biggest game of the weekend. There's no doubt about that. Like, with all due respect to Duke, Like, that Duke-Clemson game didn't have any fire under it. Like, literally none. Nothing happened in that game until late in the second half. And I'm sitting there watching this game in the first half like, dude, like, Dabo, like, where are we at, dude? I thought that you made Trevor Lawrence. It wasn't the other way around, but now Trevor's been gone, and you don't have a quarterback, and your offense is unimaginative. It turns the football over regularly, and then you're surprised that you lost to Duke.
I'm telling you what I saw out of Florida State, I think is incredibly compelling. FSU, for all the BS and all the turmoil, and certainly, as you guys are aware, we have talked a lot of Florida State on this show. But you look at some of these numbers that Florida State put up, and they're not accidental numbers. And Jordan Travis, 342, 4 touchdowns against 1 interception against a very good LSU defense, who is way better than we saw. And that they ran against LSU for 135 yards. That's really impressive. And now, I will also sit here and be shocked that Jaden Daniels actually performed at the level he did, because he got folded up like a cheap suit 3-4 times by that Florida State defense and just kept getting up. I think Brian Kelly is one of the most overrated coaches in the country.
Yeah.
And not because I love Notre Dame, our mother. That's part of it.
Notre Dame, our mother.
Pray for Brian Kelly. I think he's one of the most overrated big game coaches in the country. And I think you saw an LSU team that wasn't prepared to play.
Facts.
And did not take Florida State seriously. And as maligned as Florida State probably is coming out of ACC expansion, which it vehemently opposed, this is a hell of a win for Mike Norvell and Florida State. And you have to give them their credit because they took it. They didn't earn it. They took it.
No, and that's what the weekend was about, wasn't it?
Yes.
Right? Florida State taking it, Colorado taking it, the Pac-12 taking it. Like, I just think that that's what this particular weekend in college football was about. Now, if you said to me, hey, if, Prime were to go up against Oregon, does he win that game? I don't know. If Florida State's going up against Roll Tide or Georgia, I don't know. Right?
Dude,
but the point
with
is,
Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman, and I know we've talked, again, sorry to be repetitive, a ton of Johnny Wilson on this show. Forget that guy. Keon Coleman is a star in the making.
Yeah, he's a savage.
And I know that he's already an established, big conference guy from Michigan State. Totally understand that. What he did for the Seminoles against LSU on Sunday was nothing short of spectacular. That was beautiful to watch. I'm telling Florida State, I think you can make a compelling argument that they're the team that's better than Bama and Georgia, because there aren't many out there. I think there's a lot of pretenders. What I saw from Florida State tells me that, one, I think they should be ranked right where they are at 4, and now I need to see them against Clemson in 2 weeks. Now I need to know, are you going to dig a hole in the ground and throw Clemson in it and dominate the ACC this year? Because that's what I need to see. I need to see Florida State football and Mike Norvell kick the crap out of everybody else in the ACC, because that's what you told us you were going to do by the way you manhandled LSU in the second half.
Well, that's what you told us you were going to do by the way you handled trying to get out of the conference, right? Like, let's not skip over that. You talked all this junk before the season started that you deserved more money and you deserved a bigger piece of the pie and that you were better than everyone. Well, you proved it through
There
week
is some
one,
of
right?
that.
There is
some of that.
Like, so now I look at your schedule. Southern Miss, Boston College is obviously where the ACC schedule starts. But to your point, Clemson on the 23rd.
Boston College.
Right? Clemson on the 23rd. And then skip everybody and just go right down to Florida, November 25th. Those are the biggest two games.
I wouldn't go so quickly past Duke either, because Duke is Duke.
They'll handle Duke. I'm not worried about Duke.
That was not a fluke. That was not. How come you didn't say that in the pre-show meeting?
Because I don't think that I don't think that Dabo's that guy anymore, dude. I don't think that Clemson is anything special.
But who cares? Duke has never been special in football,
and they're not.
And they
special
just
now.
Went and laid the wood
they're
to
not
Clemson.
Special now, dude.
Oh, I think they
not
are
special now.
I
dude.
think they. You really don't see anything in that schedule.
Clemson was ranked. Was Clemson not ranked like 9th? I think it was.
Yes, 9th.
Right? Now they're ranked 25th. Notice Duke's only ranked 21st. I'm not the only unbeliever of Duke.
Well, of course, you're going to have to go out and prove it. But that defense is absolutely ridiculous at Duke. I cannot believe, and I think we all know. I think we all know what we saw at Clemson. They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
We've been saying that for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Clemson doesn't have a quarterback. But I look at Duke. I saw a team that was never going to quit. I saw a kid in Riley Leonard that was as enjoyable a watch this weekend as any quarterback on the field. And he's one of those kids that'll bring you to the Duke game or bring you to the Duke box score every Saturday night. You'll be like, oh, I wonder what Riley Leonard and Duke did. Because they're not going to be on national TV. They're not going to be the first game you think of. I'm not espousing that the Dukies are at that level. But you're going to go check the box. You're going to watch the highlights when SVP has it on SportsCenter. You're going to say, oh, yeah, well, oh, hey, look, Duke highlights. And you'll watch Duke football highlights. You will. And I think Carolina, I thought Mac Brown had a very interesting weekend, by the way. Mac Brown had a very interesting weekend, and he got the dub, and he pretty well handled his business at South Carolina.
Yeah.
And I think that was really important, and I think that Drake May gave them a performance. And the thing that is so important is that Drake May spread the football. He spread the football. They have a dearth and a depth of wide receiver talent that makes North Carolina much more dangerous. And, hey, say what you want about South Carolina. Spencer Rattler put up 353 yards in that game, and South Carolina couldn't break 21. That's pretty freaking impressive out of North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm all in on that. So, all right. That's a lot of college football right there. I'm excited.
Do you believe?
Oh, man, I believe. This was a great holiday weekend in college football. Again, I think Deion Sanders owns the day. I truly think he is the story in sports right now.
Yeah.
Not the NFL kicking off Thursday, not Major League Baseball, not the U.S. losing in FIBA, not Jake getting an incredible WNBA play on Prize Picks. No. Deion Sanders is the biggest story in sports. Yeah, exactly right. Your comments every single day are presented by Bucked Up Energy. Bucked Up Energy, the official energy provider of the Monty Show every day at this time, you guys. Do it with us. Break it out. Time for a buckshot. Yeah. Yes, sir. Saturday. What happened Saturday morning in Tustin, Jake? Oh, we didn't have any buckshot and played the worst round of golf of the year at Tustin Ranch.
I didn't shoot 110. That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Played terrible. Sunday had the buckshot back in the hand. What happened in Anaheim Hills? That's
Green
right.
jacket, dude.
That's right. 5 over par at Anaheim Hills on Sunday.
I'm for real.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And it's because of our good friends at Buckshot. BuckedUp.com. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off your purchase at checkout. BuckedUp.com. Really good ingredients that make really good products that simply do what you need them to do. That's the sign of excellence at Bucked Up. The products work. Period. Point blank. Whey protein isolates, energy supplements, energy drinks, cherry candy. I missed you. What's the first thing I did when I got off the plane this morning? Went and got a Bucked Up cherry candy over there at Harmon's. Absolutely right. It's my new favorite flavor, a Bucked Up Energy, 0 sugar, 300 milligrams of caffeine. Let's rock and roll with Bucked Up Energy. Make sure you use the promo code Monty20 to get 20% off at checkout. All right, who's first in today? How about Kurt Peters first in today? Brand new member.
Let's go. Starting the show come strong today.
Happy Not Monday with Kurt Peters. Love it. Absolutely love the fact that Kurt joined the membership. You too can join for $1.99 on the low end. How about the group chat this weekend?
Dude.
It was lit all weekend long with college football talk. $9.99 gets you into our Instagram members-only chat, and it is awesome. We have everybody, every conference, every team pretty much represented. Yeah. Of course, Notre Dame, our mother, lives right here in my heart, so I'm talking Notre Dame over the weekend.
Notre Dame, our mother.
We're talking Prime over the weekend. We're talking, it was amazing. Great job by all our members in the group. You too can join. HAM 44, one game. Let's follow the dude and just abide.
Unbelievers.
Okay, who's the most overhyped winner after one game?
Well, Deion certainly
Yeah,
has
you
to
think?
be, right? Like,
National championship?
come on, dude.
Yes.
They're going all the way, undefeated. Don't be an idiot.
Can Shedeur Sanders win the Heisman Trophy?
Oh, I think he can, but they're going to have to consistently play at that level of offense. I mean, that's why I think the Travis Hunter thing is so crucial. I mean, you're talking about a guy who played 110 snaps.
Shedeur Sanders or Hunter? Who's more important to that team?
Oh, Shedeur. I think Shedeur is more important, but I think Travis Hunter is that energy guy. Travis Hunter is that guy that is diving and just barely missing the interception, is all over the field, is then catching the touchdowns, is that so my question is, and I'm with everybody, right? After the game, he was jumping all around the locker room. Dude's the Energizer Bunny. I'm with it. But 110 snaps, 90 snaps is a wild number. You're talking about a guy who some games, if they were to go to overtime, you're talking about like 120, 130 snaps a night. And I know it's once a week. I get it. But I'm just telling you, that takes its toll. So can Shedeur win a Heisman? Yes, absolutely. 510 yards says he can. But what do you do? What do you do? And this is the commenter's point. What do you do against the best of the best? Because now I think we all agree TCU's not the best of the best anymore. Can't regard them as that. USC, I think, is the best of the best. Utah. Dude, if Shedeur finds a way to 300 yards against Utah, give him the Heisman now.
Give him the Heisman now.
Just give it to him because they're winning that game.
I like it. Mike Rochburns, give us 99 cents. There's ointments for that.
You ought to know. You bought it.
Mike crotch burns. Okay.
His cock.
There you go. I don't know about all that. Rick Jr. for $2. Hacks in the house. Let's go.
Go, baby.
Lokeman for $5. Kiss my Knoll. The dynasty has begun.
No.
Congrats, Deion. Hey.
The dynasty is not over.
I'm a believer. Hey, man, I am absolutely a believer in what Mike Norvell showed us on the field. How are you not?
Yeah.
You're not a believer.
I am. Just don't want to be. Just don't want to be. I don't want FSU to be good because then it makes it look like they were right about all the money they say they should get. Right? What I'm more disappointed is that now it feels like it's Florida State's conference because Clemson was just terrible. Right? Like it doesn't feel like Clemson's going to put up some huge fight. Like they'll be better. Certainly. I would expect them to be better.
Certainly.
But I can't right now with what you showed me. I can't sit here and be like, yeah, wow, dude, Clemson's definitely going to figure it out before they play Florida State. I can't say that, right? Like I need to see Clemson thump on some people to change my mind on that, and I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that.
Like it's distasteful. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
It
after
does.
You
It
handled
does.
trying to leave your conference. That's the
does.
problem.
It's very San Diego State.
Yeah.
Badass 377 for $5. Watching the Pack over the weekend is shocking on how did these school presidents manage to screw up this conference. Seriously.
Dude, you're not even wrong.
I think it's what we've talked about for the greater part of a year. This is one of the most shocking corporate implosions we've ever seen. Bernie Madoff, Enron. I mean, you pick the one. Pick whichever one you want. The real estate, crisis, the banking crisis, the car crisis.
Yeah.
All the crises
And stuff.
Yeah. The Pac-12 is the worst one. There's no reason for it to have happened.
Totally unnecessary.
Unbelievable. Maury Alvarez. What's up? The great Floridian.
What's up, Maury?
Maury Alvarez, the delegate from Florida. For $2. If Colorado goes 10-2. Maury?
I sifted through all that.
They're not going 10-2. If Colorado goes 10-2, does Prime stay or is he gone? Why does everybody assume he's just going to jump ship first chance he gets? I think he'd be really foolish to do that.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, I mean, I think he's got to ride the Colorado train for at least 3 seasons.
I think he's got to be there.
Yeah,
they took a huge leap on him.
And you guys know the story, right? I mean, the money that they paid Prime to come and be the coach was more than they actually had. They trusted him to go out and win games and sell merch and put butts in seats and like be exciting and make the school money. And what did he do? He went out and did that. So if you're
Wait,
prime,
so he went out and sold merch, drove excitement, put butts in seats,
Yeah.
sold out of season tickets.
Do you believe?
They picked up over 100,000 Instagram followers over the weekend alone.
yeah, like this guy's doing everything you need him to do. Now, again,
Yes.
I'm not going to be the one that goes way overboard with it. Yes, do I love the fact that I was right about this for once? Yes, I do.
You admitted earlier
Yes,
this
I
summer
do.
that you wanted to comb his chest hair.
I did never said that.
You're not going
I
to be the guy that
never-
goes overboard?
I think I've hit it every time.
Right?
Dude, I'm not going overboard. I want to see him beat Matt Rule. If he beats Matt Rule, then I will drink the Gatorade.
But and I should point out, by the way, last time I checked the line this morning, I believe Colorado is actually a favorite in that game. And I think it's a 10 a.m. kickoff in Boulder. 3.5. Colorado is 3.5-point favorites. 59.5 is the number.
Big number.
But that means you're trusting Colorado to score an awful lot of points.
Oh, I think it's just the opposite. I think you're trusting Nebraska to perform. Nebraska didn't have some baller performance.
No, they scored 10 points.
Yeah, I think it's the opposite. I think you're. Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess it depends how you look at it. Sure, if you want to say that line means that the boys in Vegas are expecting. What did you say it was
59.5, 60 points.
So you're asking Colorado to put up 40 at least on one hand, but on another hand, I think you can also
they just put up 45 on a really good TCU defense.
Yeah, so like you could look at it that way. I think you could also look at it as you're expecting Matt Rule to bounce back a little bit here. I mean, that was not.
There's
a good
no
performance.
chance Nebraska puts up.
No, but at least 20
Okay, so then your whole Vegas says that Colorado's winning that game
by a
40
lot.
to 20.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
feels like that the line does not match the over. When you're favored by 3.5, the line is 60, and your opponent scored 10 points last week
Well-
against Minnesota. No. Come on. Deion's getting a lot of love from the boys in Vegas.
He has our full respect.
Yeah, he does, Garrett. Clearly he does. JC for $2. Pay homage to Fresno State. Bring back the red and white polos.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I mean, listen.
My guy over here wore a red polo one
day.
So let me get this straight. So, and you correct me if I'm wrong, because you have the list, I know. So you're a Utah fan, a Wisconsin fan, a UNLV fan, an SC fan, Arizona, Oklahoma, Georgia,
Nebraska,
Wisconsin. I already said Wisconsin, but Wisconsin again. Like,
Central, not Central Florida.
Houston,
Florida Atlantic, Houston.
Texas Tech. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's amazing.
You want to throw Washington State on there too?
No. That let's settle down.
We have limits.
Settle down. And let's not get too excited about Fresno State. Well, Monty, they scored 39 against Purdue. Yeah, they gave up 35. That's not great. That's not a great number, man. Let's go ahead and settle down a little bit. Yeah. Mark Thorpe, a member for a month. Mark, thank you.
Wow, Mark. Okay, buddy.
Let's go. Thank you so much. Mark Thorpe says, I look brilliant. Thanks to Monty. Well,
hey, Monty.
It's what I do. Due to your insight, I told everyone Shedeur Sanders is genuinely talented, and the CU coaches are really good. Hats off to you, Monty. You know your shit. Yes, I do.
I'm for real.
Yes, I do.
I'm for real.
He's got a coaching staff, and he's got a quarter. And everybody thought it was nepotism. Oh, well, you're just Prime's kid. That's the only reason that you're allowed to play quarterback.
Oh, no.
No, that kid can play. 510 yards isn't the coach's kid. That's what Shedeur Sanders.
Do you believe?
Oh, I believe in Shedeur Sanders,
and he
coach.
looked good doing it.
Yes, he did.
This was no Justin Fields throw it behind the line of scrimmage.
Why
run
do that?
for 80 yards. That's not what this was, dude. This wasn't a gimmick. This was by Dan Orlovsky, the Jesus Christ of college football quarterback breakdown guys on ESPN. The perfect deep ball thrower, right? That's what Dan Orlovsky is calling Shedeur.
But why throw in the Justin Fields blast?
What do you mean?
Can I just get through week 1 of him being terrible?
No.
And then you can start poking the fat bear.
No.
Let me just
No.
let me just enjoy. The Bears haven't lost a game yet.
Yeah, well.
Right, they're undefeated on the season. Can I just have the next 5 days to
Kiss my butt.
Yeah, can I just have the next 5 days, please?
Yeah.
That'd be phenomenal.
Right.
Eric gives us $2. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate that. Kurt Peters, my local weatherman, still predicting a 6-win CU season. We coming. Okay, where are we at on Colorado winning games? Put it in the comments section because I'm not convinced. I know everybody's excited, and I understand that your weatherman's weather vane is pointing due north.
Unbelievers.
I'm a non-believer in 6 wins. I mean, if they win 6 games, put a statue up. They beat TCU. There's one. Nebraska at Folsom Field. They should win the game.
They should win that one.
Colorado State's 3.
Yeah.
You're not beating Oregon at Oregon, USC, and I don't think you're winning at Arizona State.
Man, I don't know. I kind of want to give them the Arizona State one.
Stanford is 4.
Oregon and SC.
Stanford's 4. You're losing at UCLA. You're losing against Oregon State. I think Arizona State's an absolute must-win because it determines bowl eligibility. If you don't beat Arizona, you have no chance to be bowl eligible because then you got to go to the Palouse.
But see, that's one. So when I look at their schedule, what I look at is, okay, what are the defenses that are really talented, have a lot of speed, can make plays? I'm not saying that they're statistically really good. They have speed and they can make plays. You look at the schedule, SC is definitely that defense. They're not the best, but they are talented as hell. SC can make plays, right? Oregon can make plays.
Yep.
Obviously, where they got Utah last week.
At Utah, the final,
So-
the week of Thanksgiving when we will be in Hawaii.
Hawaii.
I think Washington State, and I know Monty, it's Washington State. You said that. Well, I did say that, and they as an athletic department, they're terrible. But I don't know who paid. Am I the only one that paid attention to Washington State this week? Anybody see the absolute dismantling of Colorado State? I know it's Colorado State. We have excuses. I don't care. Cam Ward, 451 and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
It's pretty
He
good.
ran for 40 yards and a touchdown. John Mateer, 2 like everything you want in this game.
Y'all feel me?
You Lincoln Victor, 168 yards receiving.
Mm-hmm.
You spread the football around, 3 touchdowns to 3 different guys. I look at Devin Richardson, one of the most dynamic defenders in the Pac-12. Had a huge game. I don't know what there wasn't to like about what we saw out of Washington State, because that's another team that could have laid down and folded the tent because they had no reason to fight. Why would you fight? You're not excited. You don't have a conference for next season. Why would you fight?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, that's a good point. I think with Colorado's schedule though, like, dude, the question is now, who are the teams that they're level with now? Because it used to be, are they even going to beat TCU? No, they're not going to beat TCU. Okay,
Colorado?
Well, now they beat TCU. Yeah, Colorado.
Who's Colorado? I mean, I would still put Colorado level with a Nebraska. I would put them in the rebuilding teams.
Mm-hmm.
They're level with Arizona State. They're level with.
But you don't think they'll beat Arizona State?
I don't, because let's find out in 2 weeks. Because Jaden Rashad is a guy that I think should have the Arizona State job in perpetuity.
100%.
Until his leg falls off or his arm falls off, or Drew Pine is a quitter who didn't want to compete for his job at Notre Dame. I don't want that kid to be my starting quarterback. So I'm going to sit one of the top quarterback recruits in the entire country for a kid who quit on Notre Dame. No, I don't think so. Jaden Rashad earned that job, performed well this in week 1. Give him the job. That's his job. It's over. I don't want to hear about Drew Pine. By the way, hey, Jacob Conover, way to go. Yeah, never saw you on the field, and we never will. My point is, Conover left BYU to transfer to ASU. He's the 4th quarterback on the depth chart. Good job, kid. My point is that when I look at Colorado, even in the conference, even in the conference, Colorado or Washington State? I don't know. We're going to find out. Colorado or Washington? Washington.
Yeah.
Utah.
Yeah.
UCLA.
That's the one I have questions about.
You'd take Colorado over UCLA.
I think UCLA is proving to do. Yes. I think you lost your star quarterback.
But so does Colorado.
I agree. But Colorado's done that proving through week 1.
One game. So did UCLA. UCLA did that proving. They beat a really good Coastal Carolina team. Now, I'm not saying it's TCU, but they beat Coastal pretty handily. And we're not, but see, this is what we do. This is what we do. Wow. But Monty, that's Coach Prime.
It's Coastal, dude.
Did you see those sunglasses? They're the best team in the country.
Coastal at home. Prime went on the road and put up 40+.
Did you hear his music in the locker room? That's the best team in the country. I understand. UCLA deserves the benefit of the doubt. That game's at the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
I would give the benefit of the doubt. Oregon State.
I think they're level.
What?
I think they're level.
You think that Colorado is on par with Oregon State?
Colorado just put up 45 points against TCU.
You're dead to me. You're dead. No, there's not a chance in the world.
So Oregon State's better than TCU. That's what we're
There's
saying?
not a chance in the world. And I could be dumb, and many of you have told me so. There's no chance that Colorado's better than Oregon State.
Okay.
And if that means Oregon State's better than TCU, sure, I'll say that too. Oregon State is legit.
I never said they weren't. I'm saying that Colorado's capable of beating Oregon State.
Colorado's capable of beating anybody.
No, they're not capable of beating SC. You're not capable of beating Utah right now.
I think you're out your goddamn mind if you think that Colorado is better than Oregon State.
Okay.
Especially at Reeser. Especially at Reeser. There is no way. But this
is my point. This is what everybody has said. There's no way that they would beat TCU on the road. No way, dude.
But what have I said about TCU? You lost your quarterback, you lost your running back, you lost your top wide receiver, you're going to backslide.
Mm-hmm.
How far are you going to backslide? Well, we're about to find out. Oregon State is better. DJ Uiagalelei actually was better than I thought he would ever be at any point this season over the weekend. And if DJ plays at that level, Oregon State's only going to get better every single snap. But that defense at Oregon State's legit. They're diverse on offense. They're a much better team than Colorado. I'll listen, if Hunter and Shedeur do what they did, okay, they're going to be tough to beat no matter what. Mm-hmm. If you have a quarterback, and by the way, they also have a little running back that good old number 3 can actually play at this level when everybody told him he couldn't.
Yeah.
So they've got an offense. We'll see. Maybe I overvalue. Where are you guys at on this? Enough of us, more of you. Colorado versus Oregon State. Come on now. Come on. RB Media says any given day, anyone can beat anyone. Ask Clemson. Clemson's not good.
Yeah.
Clemson's not good. Matt Hart. Hey, Matt, how are you? All I know is I wouldn't want to play Colorado the last few weeks of the year. They're only going to get better. Well, let's see if they stay healthy. Phenomenal Hebrew. USC defense is still leaky. Colorado could beat them. I actually don't think it's leaky. I think they got much, much better into week 2.
Yeah, I mean, look what they did in Nevada, 14 points.
That's a really good performance.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's Nevada. It's not like, Pac-12, Oregon, but still, Nevada's a good program, and they could have easily put up 20+ in that game.
Yeah, and Stanford actually, I know it's crazy, Stanford put up 37 points on Hawaii at Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Now, SC and Stanford this coming week, and then Stanford. The odd thing about SC, and this is the only thing that would concern me if I were Colorado, the odd thing about SC is they play Stanford this week and then they get a bye. Very early bye week. And the thing that would scare me is Lincoln Riley is a really good bye week football coach.
Yeah.
Those aren't days off. Those are days to make adjustments. So I would be I'd be really weary. They go to Tempe on the 23rd of September. That's when we're going to find out who they are, because that place is going to be a house of horrors this year. I pretty well believe it's going to be a house of horrors this year. Ryan Willie says Packers still own the Bears. Okay, do you feel better? Thanks for the $5, though. Steven Smith, I feel like the Big 12 stole the best team in the Pac-12. So far for next year, when they come into the league, I think the alliance made the Pac-12 leadership believe they would be okay and nothing would happen to the conference. There was never an alliance.
Yeah.
They never used it. They never used it. I don't even know. Brandon Butler, Sam Hartman for Heisman. Notre Dame, our mother.
Notre Dame, our mother.
Pray for Sam Hartman. I agree.
I think he should be in the conversation. Dude had a damn good performance.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no doubt he should be in the conversation.
Ben Westgate for $5. When Colorado plays a team with a defense, they won't win. TCU's defense was very blown coverages, bad assignments, over-aggressiveness.
I agree.
That's a problem. Salamini. Nevada is terrible. They gave up 21 in the first half versus equally terrible San Jose State. Okay, cool.